Assembled guests, if you are able, please stand. Their Excellencies, the Right Honourable Dame Cindy Kiddo, Governor-General of New Zealand, and Dr. Richard Davis.
Ko te amorangi ki mua ko te hāpai o ki muri. Kia tau i ona mana ki tana tinga ki tēnā o tāta. E hōnore he gloria he mau ngāro mo ki runga ki te mata o te whenua. E whakaaru pai ki ngā takata katoa. Arohaina ngā taina, me ngā tuakana, e noho nei, ki te whakaaru kutangi, pai mai.
Kia ora, please be seated. E ngā mana, e ngā reo, e ngā iwi o ngā hau e whā, tēnei aku mihi mahana ki o koutou. Nau mai hara mai ki te whare kāwana ki whanganui a tara. Kia ora mai tātou katoa. Distinguished guests, it is my pleasure to welcome you to Government House for today's investiture ceremony. I'd like to specifically acknowledge the Honourable Jenny Anderson, Minister of the Crown, Mr Joe Harawira, our kaumātua, and Ms Puhi Wahine Tibble, our kuia. Hosting investiture ceremonies is one of the most important duties that I perform on behalf of His Majesty the King of New Zealand. I'm delighted to bring together such an extraordinary group of New Zealanders. You have each brought pride and a greater sense of well-being to Aotearoa New Zealand through your outstanding achievements and your service to our communities. On behalf of all New Zealanders, I extend my sincerest thanks to you for your contributions. After each recipient is honoured, I invite you to join with me in congratulating them. Ms Catriona McLeod will now summon the recipients and read their citations.
Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mr Luteru Taylor of Hamilton, for services to cricket and Pacific communities. Luteru Taylor played 450 international cricket matches for New Zealand. He has the highest aggregate of 18,199 runs and the most international 100s, 40 for New Zealand. He achieved the highest test score by a visiting batter to Australia of 290. He's captained New Zealand in 14 test matches, 20 one-day internationals and 13 T20 internationals. He's promoted Pacifica and Maori cricket and supported the Samoan team to participate in regional international competitions. He's coached young cricketers in Samoa and helped with fundraising. He's coached Papua New Guinea through the International Cricket Council. He's a director of the New Zealand Cricket Players Association. Mr. Taylor helped establish the Cricketers' Retirement Fund for professional players and serves on the advisory board. Mr. Luteru Taylor, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a Companion of the Queen's Service Order, Dr. Caroline McElnay of Napier for services to public health. Dr. Caroline McElnay was Director of Public Health with the Ministry of Health, MOH, and helped lead New Zealand's response to COVID-19. She led public health advice to inform policy development, public health risk assessments of local cases and outbreaks, and assessment of outbreaks in quarantine-free travel states in Australia. She's worked with government agencies and public health units to support their COVID-19 response and provided advice on the vaccination program. She monitored global developments and assessed risks with Australian counterparts as a member of the Australian Health Protection Principal Committee. She committed to ensuring public health interventions delivered evidence-based, equitable outcomes. She collaborated on a paper analysing the impact of New Zealand's initial response to COVID-19. Dr. McElnay had a leading role in MOH's communications to the public. Dr. Caroline McElnay, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of an Officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mr. Ian McEwen of Napier for services to addiction services. Ian McEwen founded DAPANS, the Addiction Practitioners Association New Zealand, which has become the main platform for AOD practitioners across New Zealand. Earlier, he was involved in the work of the Alcohol Advisory Council and was a member of the group that established the National Addiction Centre in Christchurch. He contributed to the governance of numerous organisations as a board member. He was a director of the Addiction Workforce Development Programme, now Matuaraki, the National Addiction Workforce Development Centre. He's been coordinating the cutting-edge National Addiction Conference for 20 years. He served as chair of Kina Families and Addictions Trust, promoting family involvement in teaching. Mr. McEwen has provided support to the Rainbow community affected by addiction through individual and group counselling sessions. Mr. Ian McEwen, please come forward. Ms. Janine Morel-Gunn of Christchurch for services to children's television and the community. Janine Morel-Gunn, Ngāti Kahungunu, is the co-founder of Christchurch-based Whitebait Media Studios and Facilities, which has produced more than 6,000 hours of content for Kiwi kids, including The Son of a Gun Show, The Erin Simpson Show, Tu Hono, Bumble, Tu Kaha, and What Now? Ms. Morel-Gunn was TVNZ's executive producer of children's productions and has served on the board of Women in Film and Television and the Screen Producers Guild. She is chair of the Cholmondeley Children's Centre, which provides respite accommodation and care. She's been a board member of Canterbury's Maya Health Foundation, supporting a new mental health facility for children and youth, and Uru Manuka Education Trust, supporting digital literacy for children. Ms. Morel-Gunn initiated Adopt a Christchurch Family and erected the White Lights of Hope following the Canterbury earthquakes. Ms. Janine Morel-Gunn, please come forward. Professor Edwina Pio of Auckland for services to ethnic communities. Professor Edwina Pio is New Zealand's first and only Professor of Diversity at the Auckland University of Technology Business School. She chairs the Academic Advisory Board of Te Kupenga Catholic Theological College. She worked with the Human Rights Commission to develop guidelines for religion in the workplace. She's published extensively on workplace diversity. Her books, Sari, Longing and Belonging, and Work and Worship, explore the immigration experience and the impact of minority religions in the workplace. She has worked with the Ministry for Ethnic Communities and the New Zealand Police and has provided pro bono services to migrants as a registered counsellor. Professor Pio is a member of the Ministerial Advisory Group on the government's response to the Royal Commission of Inquiry into the 2019 terrorist attack on Christchurch mosques. Professor Edwina Pio, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Ms. Chrissy Hape of Hastings for services to Māori and governance. Chrissy Hape, Ngāti Kahungunu, Kai Tahu Me Moriori, is the current CEO of Ngāti Kahungunu Iwi Incorporated and has more than 25 years of management experience within the government and community sectors. Her other leadership roles include as a director of Health Hawke's Bay Board and the New Zealand Institute of Skills and Technology Establishment Board. She's focused on strengthening partnerships between government, community and iwi and facilitating improved health, education, social and well-being outcomes, as well as the reduction of inequalities within the communities. Ms. Hape has built a strong relationship with Ngāti Kahungunu and continues to improve access to services. Ms. Chrissy Hape, please come forward. Mrs. Tina Jones of Whangaparaoa for services to suicide prevention and mental health. Tina Jones co-founded Youth in Transition in 2014, dedicated to preventing youth suicides and providing support. She and her team of therapists worked with 414 youth at risk of suicide in 2021 alone, and have had 0 suicides to date. She mobilised her team and provided support during Auckland's 3-month COVID-19 lockdown in 2021. They placed 8 of their clients in respite care, arranged 12 admissions to hospital, referred 23 clients in crisis to mental health services, managed 15 serious self-harm incidents, provided emotional support after 9 suicide attempts, changed minds of 21 youth expressing suicide ideation, and supported 11 who needed other specialist care. Mrs. Tina Jones, please come forward. Mr. Reweti Ropiha of Gisborne for services to Māori health. Reweti Ropiha, rongo whakata nai Tamanuhiri, has been the CEO of Turanga Health for 25 years. He transformed Turanga Health from a whānau client list of 10 to more than 3,000 today. Turanga Health provides programs covering smoking cessation, mental health, long-term conditions, nutrition, tamariki services, kaumatua and primary care. The majority of the healthcare services are delivered to homes, on the marae, in workplaces and other locations accessible by whānau. Mr. Ropiha has been involved with the Vanessa Land Centre, Te Runanga o Turanganui a Kiwa, nai Tamanuhiri Whanui Trust, Turanganui Primary Health Organisation, C Company Memorial House, Sunrise Foundation, the Matai Medical Research Institute, and Te Murawai Marae. Mr. Reweti Ropia, please come forward. Ms. Maggie Tairakina of Christchurch for services to victims of sexual violence and the community. Maggie Tairakina has used her early childhood education and social work experience to contribute to her community. She chaired social service providers Aotearoa and served on school boards of trustees. She was part of the Canterbury Earthquake Recovery Authority's advisory panel and the Sexual and Family Violence Sector's working group. She is a manager of START. She helped develop the Sexual Assault Support Service Canterbury, collaborating with Aviva to create a 24-hour service. She chairs the Tauiwi Caucus of Te Ohakia Hine, national network ending sexual violence together. Ms. Tairakina helped create Right Services, Right Time, coordinating community responses for clients amongst non-governmental organisations. Ms. Maggie Tairakina, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the Queen's Service Medal, Mr. Matt Frost of Wellington for services to people with autism. Matt Frost began his service with CCS Disability Action Nelson Marlborough. He chaired the Implementation Advisory Group for the New Zealand Autism Spectrum Disorder Guideline, the first in the world to take a whole-of-life view of autism and how to support autistic people to live lives in the community. He was Deputy Chair of the Living Guideline Group, updating the evidence in the guideline. Mr. Frost was a policy and information researcher for Autism New Zealand and regularly gives his time to meet with teachers and families to ensure they have an understanding of the lived experience of autism. Mr. Matt Frost, please come forward. Ms. Mamaitoloa Sangapolotelli of Rolleston for services to education and the Pacific community. Mamaitoloa Sangapolotelli was an early childhood education lecturer and opened a Samoan preschool in Christchurch. She taught Samoan at Rowley School, helped establish a Samoan bilingual unit, and introduced homework clubs and Samoan speech competitions. She's a member of Fagasa, having been treasurer, secretary, and administrator, and translated education materials into Samoan. She offered free ESOL classes at the Rowley Resource Centre. She co-established the Vai Tupuanga Dance and Music class. Ms. Sangapolotelli is a member of the Hillmorton High School of Trustees and was a representative on the Ministry of Education's Christchurch Pacific Advisory Board. Ms. Mamaitaloa Sangapolotelli, please come forward. Mr. Kevin Watkins of Hastings for services to the community and New Zealand-China relations. Kevin Watkins has built 46 floats for the annual Hastings Blossom Parade and Christmas Parade since 1957, as well as building the city's Father Christmas float. He is a Hastings district councillor. He created the Chinese Lantern Festival, which attracts 15,000 people annually. He's been a key driver of the sister city friendship between Hastings and Guilin, China, and created the amazing China Face races, connecting Hastings secondary school students with their Chinese counterparts. Mr. Watkins created the Year of Tourism, which launched at the New Zealand Embassy in Beijing in 2019. Mr. Kevin Watkins, please come forward. Your Excellency, the investiture has concluded.
New Zealand's honours system is our highest public affirmation of outstanding individual achievement. It reinforces those things that make our society better: service, manaakitanga, and the pursuit of excellence. To our recipients, it has been an honour and a privilege to hear your stories. You have each used your talents and abilities to improve the lives of fellow New Zealanders. Martin Luther King spoke about the importance of such service when he said, "Not everyone can be famous, but everyone can be great, because greatness is determined by service. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love." I urge recipients to wear your insignia with pride at every opportunity, knowing that you inspire others by doing so. On behalf of the King of New Zealand and all New Zealanders, I congratulate you on your achievements, and I thank you again for your service to our country. Kia ora, e hui mai tātou I tēnei ahuahi. Now you will see on the back of your program the words to our national anthem in Te Reo Māori and English, and I invite you to now stand and sing both with me.